So back in the series of the SWOT analysis of non-scatter, or the you could call it monolithic IT, or the single stack. And maybe we'll call it the single vendor stack. Now it could be comprised of multiple vendors providing solutions, but it's a single integrated IT stack purchased from one vendor, one supplier, and following their, it's a super product or a meta product of a variety of products. But the idea is that you yourself, as the business organization and the IT organization supplying to the business organization, are really dealing with a single stack. So let's look at some of the weaknesses of that model. Well, first of all, we look at the SAP as an example where the stack becomes monolithic. It tries to do so much to so many people that at the end of the day, it becomes a very complicated, large entity to deal with. It bloats, it gets fatter, it becomes richer. You take a look just back to your desktop, and I'll keep drawing analogies to the desktop where I can, because for a lot of folks, and I'm looking at the audience of this concept of scatter architecture being both business folks as well as IT folks. And so when we start talking about J2EE containers and software fault tolerance and distributed metabuses and all of these wonderful terms, we can lose people. But when we go to the desktop, I can draw some analogies that people can clearly relate to. And my favorite one is Microsoft Word. And I have a love-hate relationship with Microsoft Word. I hate it and I love it. I love it because it does so much, and quite often when I go to try to figure out how to do something, it takes me a long time to figure out how to figure it out, but once I do, I find not only can it do what I want it to do, but it does a lot more than I need it to do. And I always find these neat little cool things that it does, or big cool things that it does, get pleasantly surprised. The downside is that every time there's a new release, part of the user interface paradigm gets changed, part of the menu structure gets changed, part of the way some of the features work gets changed, and I keep finding myself having to relearn my old friend. And in reality, I don't think I use more than maybe 10-15% of the features of Word, and I don't even know what a whole bunch of the features of Word are. And it's like going back to Microsoft Excel, where I keep using Microsoft or not Microsoft, Lotus 123, the original spreadsheet I mastered, and trying to use formulas and constructs from Lotus 123 in Excel. I've even found myself looking for the help in Excel of how to do Lotus 123 things, because I know in my brain how to do 123, but I don't know how to do the new Excel paradigm. My point on this is that these mega suites are going to naturally, to maintain market position, add features, add features, add features. The broadness of the customer base that they're going to be satisfying are going to keep expanding, expanding, and expanding, and the features need to get richer and richer, to the point where it may become as simple as carrying around a 10-pound Swiss Army knife when all you want to have with you is a toothpick, some tweezers, and a basic knife blade. But you've got 87 blades with you, and when you go to find any blades, it's way too heavy, and your pocket's weighted down. And what happens is it gets to the point where you just don't even carry the knife and use it because it's just too unwieldy to carry it around. So really, just summing up the weaknesses of the single vendor stack is that it is this everything for everybody. It's the 10-pound Swiss Army knife that you carry in your pocket when you're really looking for something that weighs about 6 pounds. So I'm going to move on to the other aughts, and I'll close down this video, and we'll come back in another one.